Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to just have a few minutes to live? Well, these guys figured it out in 40 minutes over Maui. We're so excited to welcome Josh Covitt, Michael Feld. Congratulations on this massive success for your short film.
Thank you.
Thanks.
How exciting is this?
So,
It's great. Very excited.
premiered in Tribeca, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What do you think it is about this film that's really resonating with audiences worldwide?
Well, I think one is everybody remembers when this happened, the false missile alert that hit Hawaii last year. Or if they don't, the funny thing we've noticed is sometimes in screenings, you'll hear people be like, "Oh yeah," or one time one person was sitting behind us and they said, "This really happened," like explaining to everyone. So everyone remembers this crazy moment, and thankfully the world did not end.
So for those of us who don't remember that moment, what was that?
Sure. So on January, was it 13th of 2018, a false a text went out to all the residents of Hawaii warning them of an inbound missile that was coming to the state of Hawaii.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So,
Seriously, what do you do?
so every resident of Hawaii got a text saying a missile is coming, seek shelter.
Not a drill.
This is not a drill. And then it was radio silence for 40 minutes. So no one knew what was happening. And that's kind of where our film picks up, is about a couple on vacation in Hawaii. They're there to relax, to have a good time. And like the worst thing that could happen ends up happening in this amazingly peaceful place.
Let's take a look at the trailer for 40 minutes over Maui.
Love it.
The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill.
Oh God, it's real.
If you are indoors, stay indoors. If you are outdoors, seek immediate shelter in a building. Remain indoors well away from windows. If you are driving, pull safely to the side of the road and seek shelter in a building or lay on the floor. We will announce when the threat has ended. This is not a drill.
I'm gonna fucking kill somebody.
oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and the crazy thing is, so right, it didn't happen. So Hawaii was saved, the world was saved.
Right.
So we were like, okay, well, we can make a comedy. But the crazy thing is, the first draft of the script was actually written by Mike's dad.
Yeah.
Who is a writer. I did not know this, but Mike knew this and gets a lot of scripts.
Yeah. And it was like, the script was very much like, the first time I was reading it, my dad didn't even take the time to change the names of like the characters of my parents' friends who are in it. Like,
Oh, so this was based on a true story for
it wasn't
them.
based on a true story, but my parents go to Hawaii for vacation a lot.
Okay.
And so my dad kind of thought about what happened in Hawaii and was like, what would it have been like if he and my mom were on vacation there? And in his draft, he calls a lot of her friends and kind of tells them off, and like didn't even manage to change their names.
So you're
Are the
reading it, it's
characters-
like, I know this person you're
these
talking
people.
Oh,
about.
that's so. Are they like your parents, the two characters?
I think there's elements of them that are like that.
Because they're like so perfect.
Yeah,
the good ones?
Yeah, there's some
Parents might be
things,
watching.
yeah.
They're so great.
All the parents. We made his parents look great.
Yeah.
You know, like kept the stuff we like, shaved out a little bit, and his dad was like, "Go for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys can rewrite it and make it your own."
It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
What was the most unexpected thing that happened in the creation or producing of this film?
I think the most unexpected thing that has happened is, you know, there's the news cycle is like so fast and so rapid these days that people really forget about this happening just about like a year and a half ago. And when we do screenings of it, people come up to us and they tell us about their personal experience with this happening. And so like when we screened in Los Angeles, a group of Australian guys came up to us and were like, we were traveling in the United States. We landed to start our travels in Hawaii. We were in the cab on the way to the hotel and the alert went off. And, you know, people's friends or their families, one of my closest friends was in Hawaii for a wedding and woke up the day of the wedding to this happening. And so I think to meet so many people who have a personal connection to this crazy thing that happened has been really surprising, but really rewarding.
Yeah. Is there anything that you heard from people who actually experienced it that you wish you would have included in the film?
I like that.
Yeah, some people were like, "Oh yeah, we were just huddled up in shelter, you know, for 38 minutes," and we're like, well, that's
kind of boring.
Yeah, and also, thankfully, no one's been traumatized. Like, no one's come up to us after a screening and been like, "Hey, that was the worst day of my life." Like, everyone's enjoyed it, but we were stopped after one screening, and a woman said, your movie is almost exactly beat for beat what we did of like, should we board up the windows? We can't. Let's call our family. Okay, we're in the hotel room. Let's
How
raid
did you
the
get that?
minibar.
Like, how did you grasp all those little idiosyncrasies that really people would do under that?
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
mean,
good.
Yeah.
we're genius.
Because your dad wasn't there.
I think it involved a lot of conversations of us being like, what would we do if we were in this place right now? And it's like you're in a hotel room. Take advantage of it, like let's raid the minibar.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So, what elements of each of you are in that? That I've got 40 minutes to live. This is what I'm going to do. I mean, are you the potato chips? Or
I think we would both go for the minibar.
Yeah, I think so.
We specifically made sure that we added Toblerone, even though it's in Hawaii. Like, there has to be Toblerone. It's
always there.
That gets torn into because that's that $20 Toblerone.
What were some of the funny things that people did that you included in your film? I mean, not to give it all away, but I'm just curious.
I mean, I think that one of the funniest things that we kind of had to think about is like, who do you make those phone calls to? Like, how much time do you have to call your loved ones, and who are you going to call? And in our film, the two characters who are a husband and wife call their daughter, and they don't leave a great message to say goodbye because they don't really want to like tell her what's happening.
It's not rehearsed. Like you don't have a script. on you
That's
for-
right. Yeah, you don't.
And then you just have to be okay with being like, that was terrible. Yeah. We just said goodbye to our daughter.
Yeah. Now it's stuck there.
Yeah. That's how she will remember us forever. So,
wow. Well,
yeah.
what do you hope audiences remember forever about your film?
Wow, remember forever. Well, we want them to enjoy it first and
Yeah.
foremost. It's a comedy. And maybe have some of those moments of like, oh yeah, what would I do in the same
Just to
situation?
give you thought to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
right.
kind of
Like
cool.
like what? And the thing that we really love about our movie, and I feel like we were able to get right, was like we have a couple that even in these high stakes moments where they're freaking out and think they're gonna die, like they still love each other. Like we were very cognizant of making sure we didn't want to make a movie where they're just like, oh yeah, well I never loved you anyway. That they're just calling each other out in these last two moments. So that's the thing I know we're really proud of, is that people watch the movie and they're like, I really like them too. Like they never, you know that it's going to be okay in the end because it didn't happen, but you're still pulling for them the whole time.
Yeah, and I think who hasn't thought about like, what would it be like if I only had X amount of time left to live? Like, what would I do with a week or a month? And in our case, it's a matter of minutes. And I think with our film, to see people who kind of take that time to love each other and really kind of be a little fun instead of flipping out is kind of a good reminder of how to not to.
I love it. I honestly think it's brilliant.
Me too.
Thank
I was on an airplane once, and I honestly thought it was going to crash. Like
Really?
we all did.
Oh, you had that moment
It
where
hit the
you're
news.
just like,
It hit for probably about 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was like one of these would come close back up again, and
Jesus.
so we were leaking gas.
Yeah.
Is what it was, and it's interesting to see human behavior under those circumstances. And I was like shaking. I was texting. I was actually texting OT. I was texting the person that I'm dating now, but this was like a long time ago. And I texted my mom. I texted all these people that I loved, and I was like, I'm gonna die, and just in case I do. But it's really interesting. Everyone's very quiet. There's this strange sense of quietness that goes on. There wasn't even any crying or anything yet because everyone's in shock. So it's very interesting when you're in a situation like that, how humans behave.
I thought for sure you were going to say you were going to start drinking, but you didn't.
No one did. No, you just.
we were in your
It's
seat, right?
weird. Yeah. And then when the plane landed and we knew we were safe, everybody started crying. Like it was just this overwhelming sense of emotion. So it was very interesting. Yeah.
So please tell everyone how they can find and follow your film. Where's it playing next?
So you can find us on Instagram at 40 minutes, the number 40, over Maui, 40 minutes over Maui. And on Facebook, there's a Facebook group that'll have all of our screening dates, news with the film, and that's just search for 40 minutes over Maui as well.
Yeah, and we've got a couple festivals that are coming up. I think the next one maybe is Calgary. We can say. There's some that we
I love that. You're
say.
in
Yeah, very
Canada.
Hollywood.
Yay!
Yeah, very Hollywood.
You have Canadians in the house.
All right, there you go.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much,
Thank
and
you.
congratulations. Stay tuned. We'll be right back for more on Good Morning La La Land.